Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, I'm going to give you guys 10 brawlers who I believe are the best to get you guys towards masters, or just in general really good brawlers to max out, whether to be in ranked, and also trying to like look at longevity, brawlers that aren't banned too often as well. So there's like a mixture in this list. So starting off at probably the most crucial brawler, I think, in my opinion, I think it has to be Stu. I think Stu right now has potential to be actually the best brawler in the game, or at least one of them, if we don't count Wendy and maybe Nori. I mean, well, top 5. I think top 5 absolutely in the game right now. His win rates are really good in scrims right now. And like I said, when I pushed towards pro last season, I was struggling so much against Stu. No matter what I picked, I just couldn't counter him. Even the brawlers where, say, if you use a competition with like Poco or Barry and you just try and out heal him because he doesn't deal most damage, Stu comps would still win because of his speed zone turret. So that's what the point I'm getting at, because his speed zone turret is glitched right now and it speeds up way faster. I don't know the percentages, but it's probably like double. Honestly, it's so fast and you just can't deal with it. That amount of speed just gives you such an advantage in every single fight. So yeah, it's a click of a button as well. It's just stupidly strong. So Stu is just a must max out literally for that reason. He's pretty good into literally everything. You can first pick him in no matter the situation. There's hardly any good counters to Stu. I think he's truly the most underrated brawler in this meta. So next up we have Ems. So Ems is such a simple brawler when it comes down to ranked. I think over the years Ems has always been a really super popular brawler when it comes down to casuals, because a lot of people just will struggle to counter an Ems because he's supposed to like stay out of her range, and once she gets in range she just deletes everything. But Ems in this meta is so underrated. So one kind of composition that people just don't play enough, and especially at the lower level, even at like pro rank, people just don't go like great Ems inside of like gem grab, inside of hot zone in particular. That synergy is fantastic. She's like the best hot zone brawler just literally for that reason. She can be great on a lot of Brawl maps because she's got a gadget that can shoot through walls as well. And even though there seems to be time and time again these hype charger, well no, it's buffy brawlers that have been added and whatever, Ems just seems to be such a solid brawler because, again, you can play her in so many different situations. So Ems is just that brawler right now who can have that pop-off potential to play in so many different game modes. Sirius next on my list, and Sirius is such an underrated brawler in the meta right now. I think that he has potential to be like a top 10 brawler right now in the game. That's just how good I think he is. So Sirius, he can play in multiple game modes, and he's a great counter to a lot of the meta brawlers. First one being like a Meg. He's pretty good into a Damien. Well, he can feed off Damien pretty well, even though Damien can... his only weaknesses, to be honest, are like Mortis, Edgar, and then Damien once he has jump. But he has so many good matchups, like I said, and that's why you see a lot of pros play a lot more Damien, a lot more Sirius. And you've also got to consider as well that he's still a thrower at the end of the day. He could be like he can have a decent matchup into a lot of different brawlers in the game, as long as they don't have a wall break. So yeah, I think Sirius's stocks are going really up right now, and I think it's a great pick. Meg is next, and she's the ultimate noob stomper, because at pro level there are ways to counter Meg. Currently right now she's a very, very strong brawler, but ultimately, like, you can in pro play go like Lola or something like that to counter, but people, I'd say even below, Masters 2 just don't understand how to counter Meg. But again, she is really difficult to deal with. She's not the maxed out brawler right now, but she absolutely is a brawler that can go pretty much in every setting, especially whether it be Brawl, whether it be gem grab, whether it be heist. I mean, I think heist, she's fine. I do say my stream she's a little bit overrated in heist, but that is the further up you go on. But as a defender, she's pretty good as well. She has so much health. As long as you have the toolbox gadget, you're just so hard to kill. So no one knows how to appropriately deal with Meg at the lower levels. Just go Meg pretty much everywhere. The next brawler must absolutely go is Ashe. So Ashe is like the perfect aggro last pick brawler in this meta right now. And again, he can counter so many different brawlers when you think of like the Masters meta. So Ashe is perfect in that stance. So normally I'd always recommend, like in before, it was like Mortis and Edgar, who are pretty decent, but most of the time you need to be, especially like a Mortis, a decent enough skill level to play Mortis in this meta in particular. Whilst Ashe, he's going to farm a lot of his rats for free just from taking damage. He has so many good matchups in this game, into a Stu, into Meg when she's out of mech, and a few other brawlers like that, where he can just rinse and repeat, and especially on a bushy map, it's really going to make a big difference. So absolutely try out Ashe in this meta. The next brawler you must absolutely max out if you want to get towards Masters is Ruffs. So Ruffs is literally a cheat code right now because he's just solid into everything. Like, there's hardly any true counters to a Ruffs because he's so dynamic as a support brawler that he has a really easy to hit attack. It does a lot of damage, and he can break open walls, you know, give a free hypercharge to his teammates. He can play Ruffs in every single situation. In Gem Grab, you can play him everywhere. Brawl, you can play him everywhere. In Knockout and Bounty, you can just switch star power. That is a common theme because you can actually counter like a People or other sharpshooters or Gene with sandbags. So yeah, Ruffs is being played everywhere right now. Absolute S tier. And he's super easy to play. Next up, we have Damien. So Damien I've not included on too many lists because Damien is definitely counterable. We'll say it's like a solid B tier brawler in the meta right now, but the reason why you should be playing him to get towards Masters is, again, people below Masters don't really know how to counter out Damien, even though he will lack damage in a 1 versus 1. I think for the most part, as long as you're farming your first super, you're just unstoppable in some situations, even at a pro level. You know, in Gem Grab and Brawl in particular, if you're timing your supers correctly, you're just going to zone the opponent so well, and just it will lead to easy goals. And again, people will not know how to counter a Damien at that lower level because, again, he's so brain deaded. The fact that you just jump in, you just smash people about, it's just really frustrating to face off against. So yeah, Damien is a big problem when it's below Masters. Lumi is next on this list. So she's a typical underrated brawler where I think this is like a free hit in so many different instances. There's so many good Lumi matchups in the game right now, and she's easily an S-tier brawler inside of the pro meta. But again, below Masters, not many people go Lumi because they don't know her true power. She's got so much zoning ability, and it's all about how fast you can like recall attack, and it, you know, slows. It just deals so much damage. Her super can confirm kills onto pretty much anyone. So she's such a good brawler, but again, nobody's picking her below Masters. It's just crazy to me. So it's just a free hit. She can use it pretty much everywhere, whether it's hot zone, gem grab, rubble, whatever. The next brawler who you must absolutely play if you want to get towards Masters is Griff. So Griff, I was a little bit undecided whether to put him in there, but I just thought I'd mention it because with Griff, I do see quite often that he's picked up so early in drafts when I'm pushing from Legendary to Masters right now. But it's just undeniable how strong Griff is inside of the game right now. He's so easy to play. Before Griff, he wasn't like skillful, but at least it was a little bit harder to hit his shots. He had such a thin attack, but with his new star power, keep the change, you're just able to hit shots easier with him. He's able to farm supers. You know, he's got 2 pretty good gadgets. His hyper charge is done broken. You can play Griff in so many different situations as well. And yeah, like I said, he's so easy to play. And you can pair Griff in pretty much every situation in draft. Like, when can you ever not go a Griff? It's good in every single situation. So yeah, Griff is just a free hit. Again, like most people tend to overrate Griff when it's in previous metas, especially below Masters. But right now, he's insane. And lastly, for my 10 brawlers to max out to get Masters, I've gone with Finks. So again, I've kind of gone around the same route of underrated brawlers that are hardly banned out, but can really pack a punch. So Finks is exactly this brawler again, where people really underestimate Finks' power. So again, I'll go through the game modes where he's really strong on. He can be a really solid gem carrier and gem grab. Very, very good into certain matchups. You've also got Brawl. He's like, okay, if the map's, if it's like a bushy map, it might be okay in vision gear. But, you know, hot zone, everyone knows how strong he is in hot zone. In heist in particular, this is the game mode where he's underrated on, because you can play him in safe zone, you can play him in Kaboom Canyon. He's literally the best pick on these 2 maps in particular. And like I said, he's just so easy to dominate with. His main attack is pretty easy to hit. His super will just guarantee kills time and time again. So yeah, Finks is super underrated and a great counter to heist brawlers in particular like Kaze, etc. So yeah, Finks, he always goes under the radar, and especially because he's not maxed out now, you get the opportunity to play him a little bit more. So that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know whether there's any other brawlers who are like quite underrated in Masters. You know, they're good at pro level, but people don't pick them inside of your Masters legendary games. I'll be interested to hear. But that's going to be it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.